Perfect.
I gotta run turn this in, so it'll be on 11 o'clock news.
That was good.
Met her smoking cigarettes in the men's room. He liked her high heels, she liked his tattoo. She said she'd never been east of the West Coast. Couldn't stand all the palm trees and windows. Called herself baby. Growing up in a first world's worst dream.
The first shot in the intro was actually the last ball in this rack, and it was the 8 ball. And you might be wondering why I drove back below the 9 ball to shoot the 9 in the right hand side. If you look closely, I'm actually cheating this top right hand corner pocket and actually barely grazing the right hand side rail. And because the shot is so straight in, by cheating the pocket, I can avoid drawing straight back into the 9 ball and put my own angle, as slight as it is, on the 8 ball, so I can draw the cue ball back on this line here. Now if we look at this line closely, we don't want to stop the cue ball right here or here or here. To get a good shot on this 9 in the bottom right hand corner, you would have to stop on a dime, on less than a dime. On this 9 ball, you'd have to absolutely be straight in, and if you can do that on a consistent basis, you need to get out on the Pro Tour. Anything less than straight in is going to result in a very, very difficult, if not impossible, shot on the 9. So you're much safer off, and you have a way bigger margin of error to get below the 9. Although you don't have much margin of error, it's a lot bigger than if you try to shoot the 9 ball in the bottom right hand corner pocket. The second clip is just me being a grumpy ass. Steve McDonald says I'm going to wind up a grumpy old man.
Well, you play better when you're grumpy.
That's not at all true.
I gotta run turn this in, so it'll be on 11 o'clock news.
I was going to go on this big rant about pool etiquette, but I decided against it. I'm going to save that for another video. I can't let the worst of me get the best of me. And to these guys, it looks like I'm just hitting balls around. But in my head, I'm actually playing the best players in the world. I forget who it was on this night. It was either Efren or Shane or somebody, one of these big dogs. And this is how I keep pressuring myself while I'm practicing. I'm really not just knocking balls around. I'm trying to run out here, and I'm doing my best. But that's beside the point. I can't ask these people to sacrifice their jolly good time for my pool game. And the fact is, I just wasn't in the greatest moods this night. That's all there is to it.
Do you need a tissue?
Let's take a look at the rack from the start. And yep, this is going to be a tough one. And that's all due to a bad, uncontrolled break. Oh man, just getting started is really, really tough. This 1 ball does not pass the 4 ball. Which means my only option really is to play safe or to shoot this combination, this 1-4 combination, which is what I'm going to go for, but I'm worried about where the 1 ball is going to wind up and how I'm going to get a shot on it. When I shoot this one, I'm putting left-hand English on it to avoid coming off the right-hand rail and scratching in the top left-hand corner. That's where most of my focus is on. Can I get by the 6 ball? And can I hold up that one near the pocket? Well, I managed to do it, but I just barely have enough room to shoot the 2 past the 7. And a lot of guys would shoot this 2 to pull back and go off the right-hand side rail and then all the way back to the left-hand side of the table for the 5 ball. I don't like it. I don't like the scratch there in the right-hand side pocket, and I don't like the 7 ball again getting in the game. You'll see I put top left on it to go below all this traffic and below the 8, and as long as I come up in this zone right here, I'll have a shot on the 5. So I have to bounce off the right hand side rail a little bit hard, so I need some momentum on this shot. I need to shoot it harder than somebody normally would if they didn't have to get position. So here we are, and the question is, what you gonna do, bad boy? Yeah, what kind of twirly juice you gonna put on Whitey, and why you gonna put that twirly juice on? Where do you want to be on the 6 ball in order to get to the 7 and back on the 8? Or what you gonna do? So let's look at the 6 ball line. You could just come off the right hand round, bounce off a little bit for the right shot on the 6 ball to roll up on the 7. That's not a bad plan. Or you could just try to kill this cue ball off the rail, just bounce off the left hand side rail and try to get right on the 6 on the top right hand corner, but you better get on the left hand side of the 6 ball line, because if you don't, you're going to play hell getting on the 7. Or, I guess it would be manageable, but yeah, it's going to be difficult, and you really don't want to complicate this. Me, John, I'm not saying this is the right way, but I'm coming up on this side of the 6 ball to shoot the 6. In the left-hand side pocket, I decide this is the safest way to be on the 6 in order to get right on the 7 and then back on the 8. Now, you might disagree, but I don't disagree, and that's why I did it. And yeah, I'm kind of flirting with the scratch, and I'm kind of flirting with getting behind the 8 ball, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm a bad boy, and they're coming for me. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, now what are you gonna do?
The fact is, I got on the right-hand side of the 6 ball line, so now I'm kind of stuck on how to get to the 7, and I'm just going to drift up. Don't do anything crazy with the cue ball here. I'm going to be a little bit further away on the 7 than I want to be, but I'll still be able to stun it over to the right-hand rail and bounce up and try to get on the left-hand side of the 8 ball. The fact of the matter is, I got straight in on the 8 ball, so my game's a little bit off, but I showed you what to do in the intro, and I explained it as we went. You might forget after all this stuff, but you'll be reminded of it when we play this rack. And as for Ira Wolf, I'm going to keep on using her and hopefully promote her in my little way, because I really believe the world is starving for substance, and we need that healing music, that soulful acoustic music of the 60s, because these politicians ain't gonna heal us, and neither are these businessmen. The fate of the world is in the artist. And without getting all deep on you, that's what I believe, and that's what I'm gonna do. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in.
He liked her high heels, she liked his tattoo. She said she'd never been east of the West Coast. Couldn't stand all the palm trees and windows. Called herself baby.
So we don't let them fuck loose.
Growing up in a first Thanksgiving, God-fearing, good family. But when his hair grew long and his skin grew soft, all they saw was all wrong. Didn't see baby, baby. She took him walking down the streets of her hometown, and she showed him how she makes her living now. And he made her swear she'll break out somehow. And he thinks about her even now. Wonder where she's been and how.
Perfect.
And if she's smoking cigarettes in the men's room, he wants to show her his new tattoo. It says, baby.